At this moment, there's a very good chance your cat is quietly telling you they hate their bathroom, and you're not hearing it. Not with a meow, not with a scratch at your leg. They're telling you the only way they can, by peeing on your rug, on your bed, in the corner behind the couch. And here's the tragedy. When that happens, almost every owner gets angry at the cat. They think the cat is being spiteful or dirty or difficult. But your cat isn't misbehaving. Your cat is filing a complaint. And 9 times out of 10, the thing they're complaining about is something you bought specifically because it was nicer for you. Hi everyone, I'm Leo Bennett, your neighborhood cat guy. And today I need to talk about the one part of cat ownership nobody wants to look at, literally, the litter box. Because we have spent decades inventing products to make the litter box more convenient, better smelling, and easier to hide from our guests. And almost every single one of those inventions makes life worse for the cat. Today, I'm going to walk you through the biggest litter box mistakes, why your cat hates them, and what to do instead. And the last one is the one that makes me the craziest, because people think it's clever. Hit subscribe, and let's start by understanding what your cat is actually doing for you. First, you have to understand the deal you struck, because none of the rest makes sense without it. Think about what a cat is. A cat is a territorial animal that, left to its own devices, marks enormous stretches of ground with urine and feces. That's not a mess to them. That's a newspaper. That's a signpost. That's how they tell every other animal in the area who they are and to keep their distance. And then we brought them inside and we said, here, do all of that in this one plastic box, in this one corner, forever. And here's the miracle. They said okay. They actually agreed to it. A cat using a litter box is not a cat doing what comes naturally. It is a wild-marking animal performing an enormous compromise every single day as a favor to you. So when your cat goes outside the box, I need you to reframe what's happening in your head. That is not a betrayal. That is a renegotiation. The favor has become too expensive for them, and they're telling you the terms no longer work. Everything I'm about to cover is a way we quietly raise the price on that favor until the cat finally says no. And once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. So let's get into the mistakes, starting with the one that lives in your own nose. Scented litter. You walk into the room, you don't smell urine, you smell lavender or fresh linen or whatever the bag promised, and you think, perfect, problem solved. Here's the problem. That deodorizer was designed for your nose, and your nose is not the one that matters here. A cat's sense of smell is many times more powerful than yours. So when you sprinkle in a heavy floral perfume, you are not making the box pleasant for your cat. You are forcing a creature with an extraordinarily sensitive nose to climb into a small box, put their face down toward the ground, and breathe in a cloud of artificial scent every time they need to go. What smells like clean to you can be genuinely overwhelming to them. The correct way. Go unscented, every time. If the box smells bad to you, the answer is never more perfume. The answer is scoop more often and add another box. The smell is information. Covering it up with fragrance doesn't fix the problem, it just hides the one signal that was telling you to clean. Which brings me to mistake number 2, and this one is marketed to you as the premium, high-tech choice. Crystal litter and those sharp, pointy, pellet-style substrates. They're sold on absorbency and odor control. Again, both benefits aim squarely at you, not your cat. But think about it from inside the paw. If you took your cat outside and gave them a choice between soft topsoil and a pile of jagged lava rock, which one do you think they'd choose to squat and dig in? It's not close. Cats want to step onto something soft, scratch at it, dig, and bury. That digging and burying instinct is deep, it's ancient, it's part of what makes them feel settled. When you fill the box with something sharp or uncomfortable to stand on, you're asking a cat to do their most vulnerable business balanced awkwardly on a surface that bothers their feet. Some tolerate it, some start looking for somewhere softer, like your laundry pile, or the bath mat, or the carpet. The correct way. Give them a soft, fine-grained substrate they can sink their paws into and actually dig. A texture close to sand or soil is what their instincts are built for. Comfortable feet, buried waist, calm cat. Mistake number 3 is one you can literally see the evidence of if you look. Box liners. The idea is convenient. Line the box, lift the whole thing out, no scrubbing. But here's what's happening underneath. Your cat's instinct, every time, is to scratch and dig and cover. And when they dig, their claws catch and snag in that plastic liner. Next time you change one, flip it over and look at the bottom. You'll see it, a whole field of little slices and punctures where their claws tore through trying to bury. That's not a happy cat. That's a cat fighting the equipment just to complete the most basic instinct they have. The correct way. Skip the liner. It's a convenience for you that quietly sabotages the one behavior, digging and covering, that makes a cat feel good about using the box in the first place. Now, mistake number 4, and this is a big one because it's usually done with love and good intentions. Hiding the box. We hide it in 100 creative ways. We put a lid on it. We tuck it inside a fancy cabinet that looks like furniture. I've seen boxes built into the bottom of a planter with a fake palm tree sticking out the top. We put it in a closet with a little cutout door. And we tell ourselves a comforting story to justify it. Cats want privacy. Let me be honest with you, that story is mostly for us. A cat is a prey animal as well as a predator. They sit right in the middle of the food chain, and the instinct that matters most when they're squatting and vulnerable is not privacy. It's escape. It's the ability to see what's coming and have more than one way out. Now put yourself in a covered box or a cabinet with one narrow opening. Your cat is mid-squat, at their most defenseless, and they cannot see the room. Picture a dog's nose suddenly appearing in that single doorway, or another cat in the house lying in wait to ambush them on the way out, or a toddler's hand reaching in. In a hood or a cabinet, there's no escape route and no line of sight. That is a genuinely stressful place to be exposed, and plenty of cats respond by simply refusing to use it. The correct way. Open box, no lid, in a spot where your cat can see the room and always has a clear exit. I know an open box is less pretty, but out of sight, out of mind is exactly how litter box problems start, because the box you never look at is the box you never notice is scaring your cat. And that leads straight into mistake number 5, the one that sounds like a dream and quietly costs you the most important information you have: the self-cleaning box. Your cat walks in, walks out, and a few minutes later the machine rakes it away or flushes it, and you never have to think about it. Sounds perfect. But here's what you just gave up, and it's bigger than you realize. Cats are masters at hiding illness. A cat can be seriously unwell and show you almost nothing on the surface, because in the wild, looking sick gets you killed. So very often, the earliest sign that something is wrong shows up in exactly one place: the litter box. A change in the urine, blood you'd never otherwise see, diarrhea, straining, going more or less or not at all. Think about how we treat dogs. We walk them, and we're right there with a bag, looking directly at what comes out. And if there's blood or diarrhea, we know instantly, and we act. The scoop is your version of that check. It is a daily health report your cat can't hide from you, and a machine that whisks it all away before you ever see it takes that report and throws it in the trash, every single day. The correct way. Scoop it yourself. I know it's not glamorous, but that 30 seconds with a scoop is one of the best early warning systems you have for catching a problem while it's still small and cheap and treatable. And now the one that makes me craziest of all, the apex of everything I've been saying: toilet training your cat. Somewhere along the line this got popular, and I understand the appeal. No litter, no box, no scooping ever again. You buy a training tray that sits over the toilet, you use less and less litter over weeks or months, until your cat is supposedly squatting on the rim of the bowl. And I want to be really clear about why this one bothers me more than any of the others. Every other mistake on this list asks your cat to compromise. This one asks them to abandon their nature completely. A cat's instinct is to eliminate on soft ground, to scratch, and to bury. That burying behavior isn't a quirk. It's wired deep, taught by their mothers as kittens, close to instinct. Balancing on a slick porcelain rim over a bowl of water gives them none of that. No digging, no covering, no soft ground. Nothing their body is built to do. It removes the one part of the process that actually gives them a sense of security. And practically, it often fails anyway. It can take months, plenty of cats never reliably do it, and every time you need the toilet, you're lifting the contraption off. All of that stress, all of that lost security to save yourself a scoop. The correct way. Give them a box. Just a box. That's the whole answer. So let me tell you what your cat actually wants, because it's almost insultingly simple, and it's the opposite of everything the market keeps trying to sell you. A large, open box, no lid, unscented litter, a soft, fine texture they can dig and bury in, no liner. Placed somewhere they can see the room and always have an exit. And not just one, several of them, in different spots around the house, so a cat is never cornered or forced to travel far. That's it. That is the entire secret. It is cheaper than the fancy stuff, and it's what your cat has been asking for the whole time. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Almost every litter box product on the shelf was designed to solve a human problem. The smell we don't want, the box we don't want to see, the scooping we don't want to do. And that's understandable. Nobody loves this part. But every one of those conveniences quietly raises the price of the favor your cat is already doing for you. And when the price gets too high, they stop paying, and we blame them for it. So this isn't about turning your home into a giant litter tray. It's about compromise, the same thing every good relationship runs on. Meet them partway. Give them a bathroom they actually feel safe in, and the vast majority of litter box problems you're afraid of simply never happen. Your cat isn't being difficult. Your cat has been remarkably, generously accommodating this whole time. The least we can do is give them a box they don't hate. So tell me in the comments, what does your cat's litter setup look like right now? And what are you going to change after watching this? I read them. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone whose cat has been acting out, because it might not be the cat at all. My name is Leo Bennett, and as always, thank you for making the world a safer place for your cats.